In the last few years, the face of investing in India has been changing, and women are at the heart of that transformation. From making up just 8.8% of mutual fund assets in 2019 to commanding over 21% by the end of 2024. Women investors are not just participating, they're leading with discipline and confidence. They're holding their investments longer, shifting towards equities, and showing a stronger appetite for risk. Today, of every 100 rupees invested in mutual funds in India, 33 rupees comes from women. Their collective assets have more than doubled from 4.59 lakh crores to over 11.25 lakh crores in just 4 years. Welcome to Mutually Yours, the podcast from Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Funds for her initiative, where we celebrate these powerful stories, share real life stories, and uncover what makes women some of the most resilient investors out there. Aditi Gupta, co founder of Menstrupedia, joins us today on the show. Aditi, thanks for joining us. And I want to start right at the beginning, right? Take us into your world growing up. What was early life, education like for you? Who or what shaped those big dreams? And what are some of those priceless life lessons your parents passed on that still guide you today?
Right. I think growing up days were pretty magical for me. I worked for educating girls about puberty and boys about puberty, and uh, and growing up was a big. It was a little bit messy because periods were considered taboo where I was growing up, and largely at the time, largely throughout India also. So periods were considered taboo. I think growing up was pretty magical, but there was a little bit hiccup when I got my periods. There were certain restrictions, all of those things. My parents were super duper loving. They were very caring, even in a very small time. So I come from a very small town called Gadhwa in Jharkhand. Um, and uh, in that small place also, my parents ensured that I get very good education because my mother was really educated. So all the other girls in my family from my father's side, they would get married as soon as they would finish their 10th exam. But my parents were very very determined that they have to give a very high education to their kids, and in order to do so they also changed their city. They took all their privileges, all the big houses, they sold it, and then utilized all that money to move into a new city, find a new footing so that they can educate us.
You've built something incredible, and it's
Yeah.
a small town apart. I don't even know how many people in tier one cities growing up would have done something this magical. And of course, it takes so much of grit, determination, which you've
Yeah.
already talked about, right? Inherited very clearly from your parents.
Yeah.
Then there is work, and then there is a life outside work for all of us, right? How have you juggled the demands of running a home and growing a business? Any quirky rituals, guilty pleasures, or little hacks that have kept
Yeah.
you sane
I,
through all of this
I think
madness?
I think entrepreneurship was my hack. So any girl listening to this interview, entrepreneurship is probably a game changer, especially for a women's life, because our career tend to get a pause or sometimes a full stop when either we are married or we have a childbirth. Just to say that even if I love what I do, I love building Menstrupedia, I love breaking taboo, empowering educators, converting the schools. In fact, Menstrupedia taught India how to talk about periods in a non-taboo way, in an open way, and now periods have become a trendy topic.
What have been the big milestones? Maybe there were a few detours or missteps. What has taught you the most? And when things didn't go as planned, what were the key lessons you walked away with?
Yeah. I think if some of the milestones that, if I look back to the journey, one of the milestone was definitely to be educated, to be born to educated parents who understood the importance of education. That is very important. Then getting my engineering degree and then getting to National Institute of Design. I think that was a turning point where I this was a my graduation project. So idea like Menstrupedia, where everybody, it was just believe, like everybody accepted this fact that periods के बारे में बात नहीं करनी है, और periods के बारे में बात नहीं करनी है, बहुत normal है, हर कोई इसके साथ grow कर, but NID is a place, the National Institute of Design is a place where thoughts like this could be challenged. And the faculty and the environment there, the whole multidisciplinary education there actually enables you and empowers you to do that by studying the society, by studying the users, and really understand the human behavior. So that was a turning point. Falling in love with Tuhin and finding my soulmate, who then we became business partners, was also a turning point, because Sheryl Sandberg in her book Lean In says that whatever a woman does, a large percentage of it has to do with who she is married to or who she decides to spend her time with. So again, partnering with Tuhin, and then Tuhin was again an animator, engineer, but animator. He was exploring the whole medium of storytelling, graphic narrative. And then it was his idea that, let's make a comic book about periods. Periods के बारे में comic तो पढ़ा नहीं है किसी ने, और कॉमिक से अगर पीरियड्स के बारे में बात करेंगे तो ऐसा नहीं लगेगा कि यू आर स्टडिंग अबाउट एनी डर्टी टॉपिक और समथिंग. So that was a turning point. Crowdfunding for Menstrupedia definitely was a turning point, because nobody believed in this idea. सबने बोला क्या बकवास आइडिया है, इंडिया में कौन खरीदता है पीरियड्स के बारे में किताब. But because we did crowdfunding, actually people contributed to the project, and then we actually ended up raising the funds for printing the book. So कायदे से देखा जाए तो the books were sold even before they were published. So that is something that happened.
Aditi, okay, if a young girl came to you today and said, Aditi, I want to start something of my own, what would you be your top five pieces of advice for her? And
Yeah.
as you look back, is there something you wish someone had told you before you even started
Yeah.
your entrepreneurship journey? You did say you're very happy with the way things played out, but
Yeah.
anything on top
Yeah.
recall that you would have liked to know
Yeah.
before you took on this journey? And what would you tell a younger girl?
If somebody is starting her entrepreneurship journey, I think I just want to say that there is absolutely nothing that you can do to fail. I mean, unless until you have really messed up. एकदम ही lazy हो तो कुछ नहीं होगा, because right now the way we live, the ecosystem that we live, if you are a little bit sincere, there is so much of support, and there is so much of tools, so much of the whole ecosystem support is there, that you would achieve exactly what you want to achieve. So if you're not starting your entrepreneurship journey, that is the mistake. You keep just start, and then it would definitely shape up, and you keep working on it. And some of the things that really cannot be bought, or cannot be achieved by anything. Like your privilege cannot give you this, your degree cannot give you this, which is the hard work and the grit that you put day in and day out. So yeah, those are non-negotiables.
See, often your words like education, financial literacy, budgeting, investing,
Yeah.
discipline, but in your view, how do all these pieces come together in a woman's journey to financial freedom? And can you share any real life examples, if you have any, of how having your own money can also change the way women make decisions?
Yeah, sure. I think so what I see, Samina, I see the absence of women having their own savings account. So first of all, it starts with earning your own money. So the only ground rule that is there, the only truth that is there for women freedom, or let's say, just women liberation, is financial liberation, financial freedom. No other freedom is as far as the financial freedom that you have. So never ever compromise with your source of earning. Your saving has to be very separate from the savings of your spouse or any of your children, or whoever is trying to be your guardian or something. So it has to be separate. Investment, again, the sooner you start, it's only about the time is the only leverage. I mean, you can definitely start putting in more money so that you end up investing more and saving more. But I think when women want to know how the about investment, they should start with the mindset that their money would work for them. Unfortunately, what happens is that however we save our money or invest our money is totally derived from what our parents used to do. Things are changing, but we should be more and more aware. More awareness actually is needed, and I'm sure that you guys are doing a great job in creating that awareness. But more awareness sessions should be given that how can you start your investment journey. And right from your first internship, it doesn't matter if you're saving 5,000 or 50,000 or 5 lakhs a month. Even if you have 500 rupees at the age of 20 something, or maybe just in your teen years, and you continue doing that, it becomes a huge amount for you, um, very substantial in the next 10 years. So at least women should be told this, and not many people know this, that how a very small amount of money could become a substantial amount of money if we give them time. So the early they start, the sooner the better.
Right. Aditi, in your experience, right, what happens when women start actively investing? Beyond just having a savings account or, some money in the bank, how does it shift their choices, their family life, even a balance at home between husband and wife?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, if you are a woman who have saved her money and who have started investing, you can always think about a time when something, I mean, खुदा ना खास्ता ऐसा हो, लेकिन there are times when probably the major owner of the family dies, or let's say there has been a separation, or some crisis occurs. Now, most of the time these crises will not occur, but if these big crises occur, the one person that is affected the most is the wife. If the husband dies, the wife is the one who is affected the most. If husband loses the job, the wife is going to be affected the most. And these are the times when these kind of investment becomes really, really important for just to give her a new life. The money can actually give you a new character altogether. It can give you, and I've seen that happening in my circle. Other than that, let's say we are not waiting for any बहुत बड़ा ऐसा कुछ तूफान आ गया हमारे लाइफ में, but other than that also, these money you can always use for starting something of your own. It can also mean that you have a substantial amount of money for any medical emergencies. It actually makes you very powerful, because like I said, the financial freedom is the actual freedom.
Aditi, let's talk about the importance of parents. You've already talked about how you got where you got in life is because of what your parents thought about education, how they were encouraging. They made no difference between a girl child and your brothers. But how much of a difference can your parents partner, in your case, your partner is also your business partner, make in helping a woman get started with investing? What kind of encouragement really works? Because, like you said, we learn from our parents, and that's the starting point.
Right. So I think let's talk about we actually learn everything how to manage our money from our parents. So so when you start saving, parents बोलेंगे एफडी में पैसे डाल दो, पता चल रहा है कि एफडी में आपके पैसे एक्चुअली घट रहे हैं. So let's talk about our generation. So I have a girl who is 2.5 years old, and I'll start her investment. And when my kids are there, and with True Buddy books, this is what we are doing. We have a finance set where we teach them about money, and as soon as my kids are learning about multiplication, so my kid is learning about addition, subtraction. As soon as he starts learning multiplication, I'm going to tell him about compounding and how things compound and how money compounds.
Mhm. Guess we just sort of get over the inertia and make that small baby step, and gradually, of course, build it up organically, block by block. But thank you, Aditi. Great talking to you. Good luck with Menstrupedia. It's commendable to see women doing this and actually making money out of it. So good luck and see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
An investor education and awareness initiative of Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.